Nestle girl, y'all just were not gonna let me get away without doing this Pose season finale review, huh? You wanna hear it? Here you go. Nestle girl, let me tell y'all something. I thought I was gonna be able to get out of here without doing that doggone Pose review, but y'all said no. Dineva don't play with me, and I said, you know what? I'm not gonna play with the girls. Now listen, coupled with the fact that I just got a shitstorm of shit going on in my personal life right now that I promise when the time comes I will share with y'all, just so y'all know it's all coming to a head. I'll probably be able to share the next 30, 45 days, whatever the case may be. Part of the reason why I took my time with the season finale of Pose is because I just didn't want it to be over. And y'all may not know this about me, but I deal with a lot of my problems and issues by avoidance. You know what I'm saying? And not wanting it to be over, I just avoided watching it. You know what I'm saying? Until I was ready down in my soul. And I finally watched it. And I will say this though, and some of y'all may not agree. For me, the season finale of Pose was very underwhelming. I'm not gonna lie, I left feeling like, child, they could have saved this. I'm not gonna lie to you, this might have been one of my least favorite episodes of the show. What it feel like is they spent all the damn budget money early on getting licensing for Janet Jackson and Tina Turner music, and they got down to the very last episode and was like, child, we ain't got no budget money left and I'm ready to go to Saint-Tropez. Can we hurry up and finish? And that's what it felt like. Now the subject matter, as always, was on point, and it left a lot to be unpacked and to discuss. However, from an entertainment value, I was like, child, I kept my face in my phone most of the time. Nevertheless, Blanca said Frederica ain't gonna keep her from making her coin. She was doing nails down to the house. Yes, God, honey. And let me tell y'all something, because I got a lot of friends that do hair and nails down to the house. And people be trying to cheat them. One of my friends down to the bar, he is a former celebrity hairstylist, used to work for Telemundo. He used to be the director of the hair and makeup department, right? And he still freelances on video shoots and stuff in the Latin American community. And a lot of people come down to the bar and be like, you know, how much for a color or for a treatment or whatever the case may be. And he gives them the price. Then they be like, well, damn, that's what I would have paid in the salon. And he'd be like, well, go to the salon then. And you know, it's funny because I was one of those people that had the mentality of, well, shoot, if you're doing it in the kitchen, it should be a little cheaper. But listening to it from his perspective, he was like, but the quality and the product is the same. The expertise and the skill set is the same. It's the finished product you paying for. And I was like, well, you do got a point. So he gets mad with the girls when they try to ask for a discount. I told that long discombobulated story, all that just to say, y'all think Blanca's still making the same amount of coins down to the house as she was down to the shop? I mean, quiet as it's kept, I prefer the intimacy and the comfortability of the home. The shop is too damn commercial, honey. It's too business-like. I like to kick off my shoes and gossip and tell your badass kids to go in the refrigerator and get me something to drink. And shit, girl, what you got in there to eat? I like all that home shit, okay? A bitch like a little discount too. Anyway, Pray Tell walked in there trying to get some free services. I'm glad that Blanca and Pray Tell sat down and talked. You know, that's the beauty about family and true friends. The harder you love, the harder you're going to fight. And the harder you love, the harder the infraction is going to feel. But the determining factor is of if you truly are friends or family is if you can come back together. And those two, for whatever it's worth, they can't live without each other, and they need each other spiritually, emotionally, socially. They need one another. So I was glad to see that. Now I was mad to see that Pray Tell was still fucking Ricky. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he over there just turning old Ricky at. Ricky wearing heels and carrying on. See, like Kaya said, keep them sissies at your house. Keep them punks from at your house. Like Ricky, keep that punk from between your legs and in your butt. Okay, you went from wearing Jordans and Jordache to being pussy up in pumps. No, God, honey. Yes, honey. Ooh, ooh. I almost said something real nasty and gave away some of my bedroom tea, but that ain't none of y'all business. Y'all gonna have to wait for my memoir. Anyway, Blanca ended up in the hospital because she was sick. The virus is progressing. And you know what? While that scene was supposed to be serious and something for us to reflect on, her with that bootleg ass Will in that goddamn Lisa Frank notebook, bitch, I like to die. That shit was too hilarious. And she was gonna leave Poppy nothing, and Praytel was like, no, you gotta leave him something. See, that's a good auntie. That's a strong auntie. That's a praying auntie, and I'm here for it. Electra gets to the hospital, and here's another very valid point. And you know, it's funny because black people right now, the hot button topic is white privilege, right? And for a lot of people, that's the only level of privilege that they're willing to acknowledge or can see. Recently, you know, with the Me Too movement, we've been highlighting male privilege, which has always existed, and I'm sure women can attest to that. Now, within the gay community, you know what I'm saying, there still is a level of privilege, you know what I'm saying? If you watch the Dave Chappelle special, you know, the gays are in charge, you know what I'm saying? Particularly the gay men, and particularly the gay white men. But even down to the balls, which are for the people of color, the black and brown people, there is still a level of privilege amongst the gay men versus the girls and the trans girls, so on and so forth. And Electra made a very valid point. You know what I'm saying? Everything, as far as it relates to the LGBT movement and its stance, started with the most outcast group of the gays, of the LGBTQ community. And that was, you know, the drag queens, the trans community, the people who just outright couldn't fit in. You know, at least the gays and the lesbians, with a little work, we can blend into society. But for the people who could not blend, thanks to the Marsha P. Johnsons and the Sylvia Rivera's Stonewall protests, that is where the whole movement began. And Electra raised a very valid point. She's like, you know what I'm saying? The culture started because of us, but we have no power. You know what I'm saying? The council is a bunch of men, a bunch of queens reading the girls who are the culture. Raised a very valid point. And I love that they came up with the idea for the tables to turn. Excuse me. Praytel had done went down to the Denny's or wherever it is the council be meeting at, and told the girls that, you know what I'm saying, that the girls is complaining they need to do something. And Jack came up with first time walks Butch Queen up in drag. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a hot fucking mess, but Billy Porter is going to eat this. And I was waiting for it. Then we move on to Angel. Angel wasn't getting no work. Angel was not getting no work. And y'all know that story of Angel not getting the work is loosely mimics the story of the black trans woman who had the Clairol ad and was working. And all these years later, Clairol has asked her to come back, as you know, trans and LGBTQ issues are the new hot button issue right now in companies as they're expanding their diversity initiatives, are capitalizing off of that while they're profiting off of the progress and the trendiness of it all. It still is a win for the trans community. So shouts out. I forgot the young woman's name, so forgive me for that. But Angel's story loosely mimics hers, and it was sad to see that it was a member of her own community was the one who outed her fucking queens. Let me tell y'all something, and I said this a long time ago. It ain't nothing worse than a Spanish sissy, okay? Nevertheless, Angel lost her job. Luckily, she ain't snowed up all her money. That's right, snowed up. She ain't snowed up all her money. She said that Poppy had a little money in the bank, but that's all right. When that check stopped coming in, Poppy stepped in, and that shit just turned me all on in between my legs and in my butt. Let me tell you something. Janet Mock, if I ever catch you slipping, okay? If I ever catch you slipping, and I'm going to tell you something. I'm from Kansas City, Poppy from Liberty City. We already got that Miami thing in common. I speak a language and understand that man on a level you never will. If I ever catch you slipping, that man is mine. Cause Janet, you don't even look like you know how to cook. You don't know how to cook the roast con pollo, quiet as it's kept, bitch. I don't either. But I learned, honey. I'm down here with all the Latin people, baby. I've been on learn. Janet look too fancy. She look like she don't know what to do around no kitchen. That's all right. Let me catch you slipping. So Nurse Julie gets Blanca better. She had an infection in her lungs or whatever the case may be. They gave her medication. She was doing a little better. But as a result of her T-cell count, they were telling the girl she could get the disability. And she was saying she didn't want it. I was like, bitch, what the hell wrong with you? Stop telling people that, girl. You better go get that free check so you ain't got to breathe all that acetone in and carrying on shit. You getting paid under the table anyway, bitch. You ain't learned nothing from the girls that scam the system down to the Marcy Project. You better call Mary J. Blige and Jay-Z mama them. Bitch, you better double dip. You better get your check and keep your cash wages. That's how the rest of the girls do. Baby, you could have came up. Then y'all could have been living like Electra House without having to sell ass and whip white men. I mean, you wouldn't have been making that much, but you would have been right behind her. Blanca, you need the money, girl. You better go on down there and get your check. Shit. Pay me for my pain. That's what I've been teaching the girls. Pay me for my pain. Poppy decides he want to start an agency. You know what I love about Poppy's ambition is Poppy is the misfit somewhat of the group, right? He's not the gayest. He's not trans. He don't really got no job. He don't really got no purpose, but he do. You know what I'm saying? And so this was beautiful because we finally get to see Poppy stepping up into something. Now, what that something is, I don't know. And here's what the beauty of the I don't know is. It left me feeling like next season, I'm gonna need for Poppy to get his fair share of backstory. I want to know more about Poppy. I want to know, you know what would be a dope ass scene? If they shared with us Poppy's first male experience and the first time Poppy let somebody go down on him for money or whatever the case may be, because that is a story amongst the gay boys or the unidentifiable boys or however you want to term Poppy. That's a situation as well that is worth discussing. What were the circumstances in which he had to go to that pier for the first time and learn to survive by dropping his pants? You know what I'm saying? Like, I would just love for us to explore that and explore what led to him being homeless, because considering the fact that Poppy is masculine enough to pass, I'm not quite understanding why he didn't opt to just play straight and live within the confines of his home. Or did he get caught? Did he get caught on the phone? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot to be explored with Poppy's storyline. Poppy decides he's gonna start his own modeling agency. And I was like, look at him. This shit ain't gonna go nowhere. He's spinning his wheels, but it's cute or whatever. And lo and behold, Miss Ford did give him a chance. We'll talk about that. The guy's walking in heels for the first time. And Prey not wanting to fully participate. You know, it's funny because Prey Tell is the type of gay that there's no hiding it. You're obviously gay. But even with that, even with his unconscious feminine ways and attributes, he's still determined to hold on to what little piece of masculinity he can, because he had been beaten for not being masculine enough. And we're also taught and sent messages that, you know, it is not right for you to be an effeminate male. You know, full disclosure, personal story. When I began the Funky Dineva character, it was extremely uncomfortable for me to show up places in character. Like, I would have to go to these big festivals for sisters only and go to these big events and do hosting jobs. And I was ashamed to walk through crowds in my heels and in my costume and in my wig especially in front of people who were unfamiliar with the character. Because in all honesty, Funky Dineva was a hot goddamn mess, right? And it was like, well, shit, bitch. If you gonna be a woman and dress and guard, at least be beat and be bad and shave your beard and all this type of stuff, and like give it to them the way, you know, a T.S. Madison or some of the other girls to come through and be pussy, bitch. And here it is, I'm looking like what a lot of people would deem a freak show. And even though in my mind I knew it was a character and it was work, there was just still a level of shame and discomfort that came along with me being in character. I mean, now I've been doing it long enough that I've become more secure stepping out in that situation. You know, case in point, even now if I have to leave my house and go to a job, I'm walking out my house in heels on the elevator with my neighbors. The average person is like, what in the entire fuck is going on? But now, child, I don't even matter. I go in the grocery store with wig off, makeup on, heels on and everything. Just do what the fuck I gotta do. Get into it, bitch, because I got a shape, bitch, old nasty shape. And baby, y'all ain't never seen me when my stylist Erica Benoit taught me how to duct tape my stomach so I could have a waist. Oh, the girls really can't take me that, bitch. I can't breathe. Or whatever, they have to cut me out that duct tape. But y'all don't want to see it for Slim Goody, baby. That's why I said, Poppy Janet, cause baby, I could be a boy or I can give you fish. Whatever it is you desire, I got it. Look no further. Don't let me catch a slipping. I'm telling you. Child, I ain't gonna never get on pose now that I'm trying to fuck this lady man. Child, she gonna make sure. Season 3, they gonna make sure Poppy ain't on the episode I'm on, honey. That's alright, cause you just let me find out where to set it. I'm gonna be laying up in this trailer, honey. Just fishy, bitch. Real fishy, like. Nevertheless, I'm just playing, Janet. I don't fuck people mans no more. I'm grown now. I want a man of my own. But you break up, bitch, it's on. Poppy goes and talks to Miss Ford. You know, one thing I do like about Poppy, he can sell ice to an Eskimo. He is very persuasive, and when he get passionate about something, he goes after it. And Miss Ford, you know what I like about Miss Ford? Miss Ford see the vision, but she understand the industry that she in, but she connects with passion and drive and ambition. And she says she give Poppy a chance. And what I like about Poppy is he hustled. Poppy knew that, okay, I won't be able to go after the Elle magazines and the Vogue covers because that's mainstream. Give me all the listings that you think is too good for the agency, or the agency is too good for. And Poppy worked his beat. Yes, God, he worked his beat. He said, I can't compete with the other agents booking girls for Vogue, but I'm going to send them over here to Germany, whatever, where they're a little more open-minded and they love what's going on, and I'm still bringing in money to the agency. Miss Ford just told me to book a job. She didn't say what job. Do Jesus. Yes, God, Poppy, you better do it. They get to the ball, and let me tell you something. I have been waiting on this song all fucking season. As I'm dancing on the floor, darling, and I feel like I want some more, and I feel your body next to mine, and something about that time to make me feel mighty real. You make me feel mighty real. Yes, honey. I'm working on my falsetto. That's alright. I ain't been going to classes because I got a lot going on in my life, but Miss Jan gonna tune me up and I'll be ready for next season. Come through Sylvester, the mother and the father of disco. It was only right that they paid a sickening piece of homage to Miss Sylvester, honey. Mighty real. You make me feel mighty real. Or whatever the case may be. They came through and they gave the House Mother Award to the Gap Band Outstanding. Another one of my favorite black family reunion, black picnic anthems, baby. Outstanding. I'ma save y'all the notes, or whatever the case may be. And Electra wins House Mother of the Year. But I got a question. I saw the woman, Miss Pendavis, the mother of Pendavis. And those of you guys who know the culture better than I do, I would assume she just gave me that she's somebody in real life. Is she the real house mother of the House of Pendavis? Let me know. And if so, I think it's great. Welcome that they folded her into the show. That was awesome. Poppy gonna make an honest woman out of Angel. They decide to get married. That's something else that's great, despite the fact that gay marriage wasn't legal during that time. I would love for them next season to explore what our marriages did look like when gay marriage wasn't available legally. Blanca got wheeled out. When Blanca got wheeled out, I said, no, y'all, she looking all frail and feeble. And then she had that old nasty red lacquer on, honey. And she got up and sang that Whitney. And it's funny because it's my belief that they don't allow the Blanca character to be real glam and real fishy. Still leaving her with some boyish-like features on purpose. But Blanca was real pretty on this episode. It was like, yes, they just fishied her up. I was like, yes, fishy, bitch, fishy. I loved it, and that body looked amazing. See, the big girls, the thicker, curvier girls couldn't have got away with that red lacquer, honey, but she had that thing on, and then she paid homage to Queen Mother herself, Whitney Houston. You know, now that I think about it, because of Whitney Houston's mother's own personal ignorance and hate for the gays, Whitney did not become the gay icon within the community that she could have. But could y'all imagine what it would have been like had Whitney been one of the ball girls or just one of our allies and would have just got down with the gays like the Madonnas and the Paula Abduls and the Janets? Although Whitney would have always been iconic, that would have just taken her iconic status to a whole nother level. Now, we go up for her vocals, but we never went up for her participating with us in the parties and stuff. You know, you don't, I mean, and unless I just have never seen it and don't know what I'm talking about, but I've never seen instances where, you know, Whitney been all indoctrinated with the gays, whatever. And I think that had to do with her own personal struggles, and Robin wasn't eating her coochie no more, and all that trauma that came associated with that. Then we get to the part where the Butch Queens come out. Baby, Ricky walked as best he could, and it was something so sexy about it. It just was. The shoes was cute. He was cute. He did his little turn, had his little stomach out. Of course, Electra's boys ate that. They were beautiful. When the council came out, it was so funny how they were walking in their heels, and I loved Jack Mizrahi when he was doing his little thing. Now, here's what I was expecting with Pray Tell. Because Pray Tell had that scene with Ricky where he discussed he wasn't comfortable because his daddy beat him, this, that, and the third. Because Billy Porter, the person, is multifaceted, can walk and sport the heels and the dresses, I wanted the Pray Tell character, I wanted Pray Tell to just come through and give them bitch puss and boots or whatever. But I guess he had to be consistent with his whatever. And the breakthrough was that he was comfortable enough to walk. I wanted Pray Tell ass to turn it. I just did. I wanted him to just bam, 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 give it to them hoes, especially considering the fact that he's the one always judging them, that he should have known what to give. He looked beautiful and he had fun and had to play timid and coy, and it was cute, and that's how Pose ended. However, I was looking for the feeling that I had on the episode when Candy died and she was singing to Stephanie Mills. That was the emotion that I was looking for. That's why I say this episode fell a little flat for me. But nonetheless, despite the fact that this was not my favorite episode, all in all, it closed out the season. And overall, it was an excellent season. I will have to say this. Season 1 was my favorite season. Season 2 was great, do not get me wrong. Season 1, though, to me, was better. And I don't know if it's because it was new, or if the stories felt more intimate, or if we were just getting to know these people. I haven't quite wrapped my head around why Season 1 was my favorite. I will say this. I am missing Angel and Stan. I'm missing that. There was something about Angel, Stan, and Stan's wife, something about that storyline that was just so real, coupled with the fact that I have been in a situation like that before where with a white man and his white wife, believe it or not, that he and I were into something, and the something was new for him, and we had strong feelings for each other. He had a wife. Maybe I'll tell y'all about that one day, maybe I won't. Sometimes I shave my legs and sometimes I won't. Nevertheless, season 1 was my favorite. Anyway, Pose. Now listen, y'all didn't call me for season 2. My agent, Tracy Christian at TCA Jerry down in Beverly Hills is waiting on y'all. She been waiting. Y'all need to call and set up an appointment. I'll audition either on camera or I fly to New York. I'm always there at the Viacom offices anyway. I ain't asking for nothing to be handed to me or given to me, but a bitch would like a chance to audition. Okay! Y'all text Ryan Murphy and flood shit. I was gonna say flood out Janet Mock Twitter, but since I don't told this lady I want to screw her boyfriend, she probably ain't gonna see it for me. Nevertheless, flood their ass out and let them know Dineva is ready to work. Okay, I got my SAG card. I'm ready to work. And I'll call y'all later. Bye.